Can you talk? You said something that kind of stuck out to me, where it's like peaking or coming to a platform, right? Can you like? What do you mean when you say that? Like, are you talking about a profitability? So I'm running a $15 million siding business, right? And I've been at 15 million. I don't want to get higher. Is that what you're talking about? You talking about profitability, or are you talking about taking from 15 to 20 million?
I think the best way I can describe it is, what is your end goal as a business owner or as a leader? Maybe your end goal is to sell your business in X number of years. Maybe your end goal is to become a multi-market company where you're opening up, 5 or 6 different locations in different markets. And maybe your end goal is just to become 5% more profitable in 2 or 3 years. That's what I really mean by that. So, we see these people, we hear the stories from these people who are very skilled, but they're skilled in kind of one area, and that's how they built their business. And when it reaches a point where they get so busy and they have to hire more people, they have to have the systems and the processes in place to scale, and to scale at a sustainable rate. They don't really necessarily know how to do that because they've never been through it before. And that's not a slight, because the people who have built their businesses up to this point that I'm talking about, 50 plus million, they were at that point as well. So coming and hearing from those people, some of the challenges they faced, some of the windfalls that they experienced by speaking with the right people, talking to the right people, learning the processes that help them grow their business, is really one of the biggest benefits of attending a program like this.
Yeah, you see it all the time. I mean, I kind of equate everything to sports. It's like when you level up, go from JV to varsity to college to the pros, there's different levels of support that you need. Everything from your training staff to your diet to your recovery to your actual practice, weightlifting. You don't do the same things at each level. Or even if going to the highest level of the MBA, that the level of attention that you need when you're 20 years old or 22 years old versus 33 years old is going to be significantly different, right? And so, what you said really hits home, where it's like a leader of any size company really can come and kind of figure out where they are and then see the different solutions that are out there. And I personally, we've looked at over strategic partners in this industry recently, and you have several of our top 15 partners that will be at the show that really are additional tools where folks can gain that level up mentality, right? Utilizing technology and what's out there, just like elite athletes do, in order to play in at the highest level for the longest amount of time. I'm curious to hear from you, like, what are the biggest challenges that you this year? Keeping in mind we have an election year coming. We've just come off of COVID, where people were waking up in the morning with orders in their emails. What do you think the biggest challenges are that we're seeing in our industry today?
Yeah, I think, Greg, lead generation is the biggest issue right now. I think
Okay.
most people you speak with would agree with that. There's a lot of reasons for that. I think a lot of people made their hay, kind of in the peak of the pandemic, when leads were just at an unsustainable rate. They were never going to stay that way. So there was going to be some natural decline there. But I think also you're seeing a shift by some of companies right now that understand they need to incorporate some other forms of marketing to really drive business, some more non-traditional marketing methods. This is actually a topic we're going to be delving into at the program. So how can you combine some of the more, common methods that are used today, whether that be just internet search traffic or social media or just simple forms on your website? How can you combine that with more non-traditional methods like shows and events and canvassing and things like that? How can you mix those two together? So I think leads are going to continue to be an issue throughout this year and probably well into 2025. There's a lot of other stuff happening right now some legal issues regarding leads, and we don't really speak on the legal side of things, but it's a big issue in this industry right now, understanding how you can contact people, who you can contact that's been in your database, and you need to be aware of those issues. So that would be number one. The lack of ongoing training certainly remains a big issue that we see. I think that a lot of companies have a tendency to onboard people pretty well, but once they get those people in the seats, they hold meetings and they give them guidance, but there's just not enough one-on-one training. There's not enough retraining. If someone's struggling, sometimes people cut bait too soon with a salesperson without understanding, okay, this person may need a little retraining. They may need to be directed back to what had them successful in the beginning. So those are two of the biggest issues we're seeing right now. I think there's other ones that are on the horizon, but those I would say are going to be two of the biggest things we cover at our event in Houston.
Awesome.